Hello everybody, John Harper here with another City Skylines video. Well, this is actually the first time I recorded anything was making this Best Buy. So my videos are a bit out of order. This actually I made this part before I did the video about decorating the cheddars. It was kind of a test video, and originally I had recorded the audio as I was building the Best Buy, but the audio recorded very loudly, like the special effects, which I still haven't exactly figured out, but like the ambient sound and the effects sound were way too loud, and it didn't come out that great. Decided just to do a dub over. Plus, it was about a 22-minute video, so this one I cut in half. It's 2x speed, just so it is a reasonable time period to watch a video. So this small area here, I've been slowly adding onto it, and since this video was made, I've added a little bit more and changed up a little bit more of the area surrounding the mall, and added a few little bells and whistles and decorations here or there, and it's starting to really look good. But today's video is building a Best Buy. So first off, some kind of a cookie looking area here, little strange, and I've kind of touched it up a little bit, but I do love this double-decker roundabout that I made, and kind of a nice little area or a nice little road setup to get into the mall area. This general area here, I've not changed too much. I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out. I have taken away a little bit of the parking lot on the right side there, that bigger area next to the Skylines sign. I've taken out that parking lot so I could put in a Kroger. So before too long, I'll be showing off a little bit more of that on the game, but who knows what I'm trying to explain here. But probably talking about the parking issue, and this is before I kind of discovered some of the things you can do, like on Traffic Manager, to get the parking fixed and put the more realistic parking on. So I think with that, and just finding out where the no parking should be and things of that nature, has helped out my parking tremendously. I'd love to know exactly what I'm referring to here. I haven't decided exactly where I'm expanding, and even to this day, and this was recorded probably almost a month ago, but I've expanded out, but I've been mostly doing details. This has just been a big detailing map. It's been my first detailing map, and yeah, so without further ado, working on this Best Buy. So really cool asset here, of course, and as I'm getting to know City Skylines more and more, I appreciate these assets that don't have too many things added onto them, that are pretty bare bones. And when I first started kind of messing with assets, I'd be like, oh cool, this one's got a parking lot. Now I'm like, oh, I hope it doesn't have a parking lot. So I don't know, it's kind of funny. You kind of start to realize that it's a lot better when you're able to do the things yourself. So with this Best Buy, I kind of wanted to be at the entrance of the mall, which is where it's at. Didn't really want it to be attached to the mall, which a lot of Best Buys are attached to malls, or they're attached to a larger shopping center. I kind of wanted this to be a standalone, and to kind of give it its own unique vibe and everything. And I knew that I was going to have to build another parking lot for this Best Buy, and kind of connect it with the rest of the mall parking lots. Now, upon doing this, there was a lot of work that needed to be done with the nodes, and started getting to the point where I was like, ah, gosh, I really don't want to mess this up. And then of course I started messing stuff up left and right. But you gotta be careful when you have these intersections too close. You can see the little glitching there that I'm attempting to get rid of. But once I kind of figured out how to balance that, I think this parking lot turned out pretty well. So having the road around it just kind of sets up, I think, a more realistic look, because then you can kind of you know, have a loading dock area and things of that nature where it I think it just gives it a more realistic look overall. Now parking lots have some of this strange wideness, which here I'm trying to kind of get rid of that, which eventually I do. And I know that the Best Buy up here has a really huge parking lot for no reason. It's barely full, so that's why I kind of got the idea to kind of change this up. Now just using Move It, you can kind of get the road to do what you want it to do, more or less. And but what I decided here is that that parking lot looked a little too big and was a tad bit too wide open. So I mean, this is kind of what you do with this game. You just kind of build stuff and adjust, and you do that a lot. So especially me, because I am a noob when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So you know, you can copy and paste these parking spots, which act as buildings on the game, but every time I do that I seem to not get very good results. And here I'm just adding some handicap spots, which the ones I have come in those little 2-packs, so you have to kind of play with them a little bit to get them to work right. Connect them with like single parking spots. Now here I try to do what I just said I normally don't. Using Move It, you can copy and paste those, as well as getting at. And a lot of times when I do that and then I bring the parking lot over from another area, it never turns out the way I want it to look. It just always looks a little off center and stuff, and I'll end up using Move It to move nodes and things like that, but it just doesn't work out the way that I want it to usually. So I figured that was enough parking, so I eliminated the other parking lot. The parking lots are basically just roads that are just wide, super wide, right? So super wide, right? But they're just roads that are just super wide. Now here I'm copying and pasting just bushes and trees from the mall entrance to reuse them here. 2 reasons: 1, saves time, and 2, kind of makes sense that the other stores, department stores that aren't attached to the mall but are on the mall property, use similar gardening, if that makes sense. So that's why I did that. Now here I'm using a curb that's not really like an actual curb, but it just acts as like a almost like a fence, but it's just a little concrete curb. And this is a King Leno asset here, which is awesome. But basically what that allows you to do is you can just make anything look like it's kind of like separated. So it gives like areas where you just like throw in some trees and bushes, you know, quickly like I just did, it gives them a more realistic feel, a more realistic vibe. Now you do have to kind of play with it. Like here, I noticed that it was kind of sticking out just a tad, so I'm trying to grab that one little piece and squeeze and kind of squeezing it in. So yeah, you know, I think that little area there just kind of add a little bit, and then in the front here in just a second, add just a little bit using the actual curb prop that I was talking about a second ago that I didn't use a second ago. Now here I am using it and just using the small curb props, trying to keep them kind of lined up, which I just did, and then just throwing in some of the palm trees that I've been using around the mall, just to kind of tie that in, give it a nice appearance there. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I mean, you can do this with just about any establishment on the game, and really make your city pop and look more realistic. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.